6 to 8 feral cats living under the boat. If the bubonic plague breaks out, I might be alright. Because I don't let the cats in the house. The other day I talked about getting into your flow for the new year, the end of the year, the Gregorian calendar year anyway. You know, we state things, I speak very matter-of-factly, I believe what I say. Doesn't mean that I'm right, doesn't mean that it's true for you. It means that I'm standing in what I believe to be true. And the onus is upon me to be malleable and open enough to adjust, grow, and flow as knowledge rises, both from within and without. If you ever watch like people speaking motivational stuff, things like that, when you're down it kind of pisses you off because it's like it's easy to say when you're not in the grip of something. It's easy to feel that way when you're not in the moment of pain or whatever emotions are running through you at that time. So getting started in a forward motion, you know, you got to be easy on yourself, you got to go gentle. It's kind of like trying to start a car, you know, when it's sub-zero. You got to let it run, you got to let the engine warm up. You got to let things get in a rhythm before you go from A to Z. It's a slow process. And we're being reminded of that in these times because now we're heading into the winter solstice. Shortest day of the northern hemisphere year, longest night. We sleep at night generally. If your circadian rhythm is tuned into the communal flow of life. When you're sleeping, you're digesting. You know, if you dream a lot, you've got a lot of energy in your psyche. Your consciousness has built up a lot of information, a lot of energy. I don't know what to say. Can't find the word. So when you dream, you're releasing that. You're allowing that tension to be expressed in a way. I mean, you're not allowing it. It's just happened. It's Ajo magic. Ajo magic. So that's kind of what these times can be for us. Especially if you work consciously with the timing of the world, the cycles, the seasons. Some of us, we may do a lot of meditation, we may go dark, we may be in silence, we may prefer to hang out in very relaxing environments at this time. For me, I will try and make conscious efforts to be mindful of my emotions, be mindful of where my attention is and what I'm feeling. Try and get in touch with what it is that brings value to me, what it is I feel drawn to heading into the future here. The world wants to frighten us, it wants to take away our creative powers, it wants to use our shadow projections in order to create its own. And by the world, I mean people that are dialed into the conscious of humanity, to positions of power through the medium of the majesty of our societies, our cultures, where our attention is drawn. Where attention goes, energy flows, that kind of thing. So if you can dial it back, if you can understand that a lot of what's happening is real, but it is up to you to come into the resonance of the truth within yourself, because when you do that, you don't fall for the shell games. Now, before we head into the winter solstice, there is a period of transmission. I'm going to cover this on the computer because I want to show the chart and kind of talk through my logic. But I just wanted to come on and say a few words here. So let's look at the chart real quick. Let's see. Oh my God. Gotta love homemade curtains. Alright. Let's look at the chart for a moment. Where did it go? Alright, I got the chart up here. It's for December 18th, 2022. We've got the sun at the Galactic Center. Essentially it's 27 degrees, but somewhere in that 26-27 degree range. Now this happens every year. It's standard. You know, every degree the sun, all the planets go around all the degrees, but the sun will touch every degree. About a degree a day. So I just want to focus on Sagittarius here. Right here. And its opposition, which is on the axis of Gemini, Sag. So Gemini, Sag, it's information and belief could be coalesced down to truths which you get to through gathering information, or sometimes truths which arise within you and then you get down to information by bringing it back down. That's where Hermes Trismegistus, the Magi, all the those that speak with the gods. You know, Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So I want to talk about some dynamics. Now, I study astrology. I'm a student. You know, I revere and I respect all the research and all the information that's been done. But for me to understand it, I have to do things my own way. So I'm looking at this, and I like Inconjunction Junction logic because it helps me to understand dynamics. Inconjunction is quincunx. Essentially, every degree has 2 quincunx points. If you want to break it down generically, one of the quincunx points, if you're following the traditional direction of the chart, you know, you got the first house, second house, third house, fourth, etc. If you're following it traditionally, the working quincunx to Sagittarius is Taurus, and the transformative quincunx to Sagittarius is Cancer. So now let's just I made some notes because I like to write. So I just want to read some of the things I wrote here. So we can think of Sag as a truth beyond form which arises in your belief. When you're young, you're told things, you believe them. As you get older, you start to see where that belief might have been a little bit short-sighted, or maybe it was imprinted within you, given to you. Or maybe the beliefs you held, they're still true, but the extent of their depth and their width, their macro expression isn't quite what you thought. It changes as it starts to expand from your own micro awareness of what that truth was. Now the Galactic Center, 27 degrees, we'll say, of Sagittarius. It's like the Magna Carta next hop in the network of primordial transmission. So information's coming in through the music of the spheres, through the network of reality. And Galactic Center is the next largest hop for us. When you get beyond planets, beyond stars, things like that. So we're bringing in new psyche, new spirit. It's a transmission, the primordial ooze of life, the aether. Now these inconjunctions, these quincunxes, these can be seen as the dynamics of life. It's the way the spirit feeds in through us, and it's a multivalent expression. Taurus is the working quincunx of Sagittarius. So what are the hidden truths of your beliefs to the felt presence of your experience? What do you do with that, and why do you do it? What is the value through the self-ownership in this process? What's the value of self-governance? What are you nurturing? What are you cultivating? What are you creating? And what is the link as relation of yourself to others in this world? I'm Taurus Sun, Taurus Mercury, so I understand that. I think we all understand it in different ways, but we may not put so much importance on it. Now Cancer's the transformative quincunx here. That's the raw, untethered truth of felt experience as all you are. All we are, all we have been, and all we will be. The value of life and the power of the will anchored in the raw flow of those emotional currents. This is why Mama Bear is a formidable foe. This is why we protect one another, why we protect our traditions, why we protect our families. This is the love eternal. So you've got the working quincunx here, and we've got the transformative quincunx, and sandwiched in between them is Gemini. And Gemini becomes the gift of Hermes in this process. Gemini has the ability to reverse engineer the belief back into a conscious awareness which links the heavens to the earth with the purity and the curiosity of the child of God. If you've been around children, they speak what they feel a lot of times. If you listen to their perspectives, if you listen to their insights, sometimes they're so profound. Now, if you want to truly understand what these dynamics are, look at the axes of Cancer, Capricorn, and Taurus, Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign preceding Sag. Capricorn is the sign post-seeding. So Scorpio is the ineffable dynamic as your truth and the shadows past, now realized anew. And then Capricorn becomes the impulse of creative expression through the architecture of your godhood. And what is godhood? It is the belief which drives you. So let's get back to the planets here for a moment. We're going to have the moon going over Spica at 22 degrees Libra during this transit. And you see what we've got in Gemini here, part of that transformative process. You see we've got Uranus, North Node, and we've got Pallas Athena. And there's some fixed stars and other asteroids and things in Cancer, but Pallas Athena is the one I usually focus on. In Capricorn, we've got Venus, Mercury, and Pluto. And in Scorpio, we have South Node here. So if you want to break down the Inconjunction Junction in your own life, in your own chart, feel into what I said, and then add in the planets, add in your connection to the planets. Are these transiting on any of your natal points? Are these speaking to you in any way? If so, incorporate that understanding, or incorporate the openness to being informed by these times in those ways. This is a setup for the winter solstice. It's a very impersonal, personal at this point. The world's happening and we gotta happen. We gotta be in line with ourselves, otherwise we're in line with whatever line they give us. You know, I am a Taurus, I am a highly sensual person, and I read the signs, all the senses, even nonsense. It's the gifted curse. Well, with that said, I hope I got some information out that maybe you hadn't taken into account, or maybe reinforces some of what you already felt, already knew. These are powerful times. Go easy on yourself. Alright, thanks for watching.